Do you like my dog? She's a good dog. Hello. Woof woof. Get him. Attack. This season in the PPL, as you could probably tell from the thumbnail, I decided to do something a little bit different. So those of you that have been around the channel for a while will know that I took a bit of a break. I actually thought I was done with Draft League. I took a bit of a break for like maybe 6 months or so, and then I came back. And when I came back, what I decided was that I wanted to try and have a bit more fun with things. I want to try and do things differently. I've been playing Draft League for an extremely long time now, and I was getting a little bit burnt out. And I was like, if I'm going to come back, I'm going to experiment. So in Egg, recently, we did a draft of just Mono Gen 9. It was pretty fun. It's still going on. It's been a ton of fun, actually. And so going into this season of the PPL, I was like, do you know what? They're doing tiers. I haven't seen tiers in a while. It's kind of semi-tiers. It's like half-flaccid tiers. You know what I mean? It wasn't fully erect tiers. It was halfway house. And I was like, we could have a little bit of fun with this, because we could try doing a backwards draft. Because it's tier-based, and even in points-based I've noticed this recently, but because it's tier-based, there is guaranteed to be some things in the top tier that cannot or will not be drafted until I pick one, because there's more top-tier Pokemon than there are coaches in the league. That means that if I start with, say, a 1-point Trapinch as my round 1 pick, I know that I'll be able to pick up something very valuable at the end still, like Houndstone. So I kind of had this idea, and I thought, one of the things that has bothered me the most in all my time playing Draft League is this idea that you have to pick something in a certain round, right? Meta games exist, and they're important, and countering meta games is important, but they don't have to be as rigid and fixed as people kind of, that group thinking wants you to believe. So if you want to pick round 1 Dugtrio, I don't know who would do that. I've certainly never done that. But if you wanted to, just do it. Like, if you just want to pick stuff. I have a friend, Troy, who I haven't played with in a very, very long time, but I'm pretty sure he picked Rotom Wash round 1 in the league that he potentially won, or certainly did very well in, because he just really liked Rotom Wash and there was no other backups for it, and that's the one he wanted to start with. So I think like this kind of hard thinking of you have to pick this in this round or you will have a bad draft. If you pick this, you've picked that too early. Why did you do that? I think that is bullshit. I think that you should pick what you want to pick, when you want to pick it. Every draft is different, and every way people draft is different. I'd rather have like Toxicroak than I would some of the top tier fighting types, for example. So, you know, why do I need to pick up an Urshifu round 1 if I'm going to be happy with my Toxicroak round 8? Like, you don't need to do that. So I wanted to test that theory to the max here and start with round 1 Trapinch. Terra Trapinch, I should add. So, you know, fantastic, worthy round 1 pick, but a 1-pointer. And then every round after that, each mon had to get more expensive than the last mon I picked. This was a very extreme way of testing my theory, whether you could get a good draft testing backwards. I could have just been like, I'll start with like lower tiers and work my way up. But I was like, no, every mon has to be more expensive than the last. I did have to use the grace period to clean up the draft, not because my idea didn't work, but because mid-draft I realised I'd miscounted my points and had fucked it, because I have good ideas, but not, well, I don't know, good ideas is too strong. I have ideas, but I'm not good at counting. That's not my strong suit. So, also, if you can't tell, I'm very ill, so I'm struggling here, I apologise. But yeah, so we had to use grace period to clean it up a little bit, but I think that counts even more, because anything that you can get in grace period literally is undrafted. So that shows you that there will be things left, whatever round you want, even after the draft, that are still useful. So this is what we ended up with. It's a sand team. Again, if you're new here, I don't really do traditional draft analysis. I don't think they're very helpful. I think it's much better to watch the season and see how the team performs, to get a feel of it, than me speculating at the beginning of the season. What I will do is give you a little bit of insight of why I've picked what I've picked. So Houndstone with Last Respects was unbanned. And I was like, all right, that fell to me. Like, that didn't get picked up. So I was like, wicked, let's just do that. Obviously, then I'm going to want Excadrill and T-Tar. Ideally, I would have wanted Gigalith, but it's not in this better game, unfortunately. Better Sandset than T-Tar. Because it can go boom, and with Last Respects especially, that would be very helpful. But anyway, and then the rest of the things I picked up a bit of a defensive core with Skarm, Gastro, and Mungus. Gen 5 OU is like one of my favourite meta games to play, just like for fun with some of my friends. And yeah, kind of Skarm, Gastro is very good in that meta game, so taking a little bit of inspiration from that. Whimsicott, the mascot pick, was the best Pokemon in Generation 7 and 8. Haven't tried it in Gen 9. I'm a little bit scared that it lost knockoff and I think defog. but hopefully still good. And then we have the Terra Typhlosion to give us a little bit of ghost spam, right? Because if you want to bring your own bulky normal type versus me, well, are you going to run it Fizz Death for the last respects coming out from Helmstone? Or are you going to run a Spadef for the, Terra Ghost Shadow Ball, or even Terra Fire Eruptions if you switch in and you get the prediction wrong coming out from my Typhlosion? So that was the idea, just try and pressure things on the physical and special side of those double ghost types. Ghost spam's always been really strong since Pursuit got removed. And even if Pursuit was here, I had the best Pursuit Trapper anyway in T-Tar, but it's not here because Game Freaks suck. So that's the idea of the team. It's just offense really with like a little bit of a defensive backbone. But again, now that Gastrodon gets hazards, Skarm and Gastro aren't too passive. Like, they can just get up hazards and die and power up my last respects. Trapinch can be the most important round 1 pick anyone's ever had, with Terra Bug first impression, Terra Fighting superpower, Terra... Is that Steel? I can't even remember what Terra types put it. Terra Steel... Iron Head, maybe? Terra Blast? Don't know if it gets a Steel move. And yeah, Terra Ground. Obviously, with Arena Trap, it just seemed fun. Shout out to Addison, I know she loves it. But yeah, that's the team. I'm going to go before I keel over because I'm so ill right now and I'm really struggling. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And do you think it is possible to win a draft league drafting backwards? I think so.